Others who came before us gathered here along the shores of Lake Macatawa as the rolling green space of Kollen Park was first dedicated to the families of Holland. The original public acquisition of this park came as a result of a most generous act of giving on the part of Martha Deacon McCollin, whose vision it was to have public accessibility to this remarkable waterfront. Her gift of 19 acres, in memory of her late husband, George E. Collin, was intended to begin the transformation of this waterfront from one that was solely comprised of industry, commerce, and transportation to a place of both economic opportunity and lakefront leisure and recreation. For several generations, we Hollanders have benefited greatly from Mrs. Collins' vision and gift. Each of us have many memories of good times with family and friends here in Kollen Park, where we've come to recharge our batteries, relax, and enjoy the more simple pleasures of life. Here we have pushed children and grandchildren on the swings. Here we've enjoyed the summer concert music as provided by our own Holland American Legion Band. Here we have both launched our boats and lunched under the foliage of giant trees. Here we've come to feed the ducks and watch beautiful West Michigan sunsets. Here we have come for special community events, and as we have done so, we've lived Mrs. Collins' dream, and possibly doing so without knowing or remembering her name. 10 years ago, it was becoming obvious to both residents and city elected and appointed officials that Kollen Park, while a wonderful destination, was failing to reflect a growing city and a growing community, and that a community conversation needed to be undertaken to identify new ideas which, if brought to fruition, could put an even brighter polish on this jewel. 10 years ago, we did gather. We all learned how to say the word charrette. We also came to understand that a community charrette process encouraged the widest possible range of ideas and gave value to each suggestion as to how to best address the needs of Kollen Park. Over the past 5 years, many of those ideas expressed by you, the residents of Holland, have been incorporated through quality design provided to us by our very good friends at MC Smith Associates, represented here today by Mr. Jim DeWild. Jim, would you please stand? Let us say thank you to you and your team. We have all watched with eager anticipation the resulting construction of phases 1, 2, 3 that has brought the project to where it is today with the conclusion of phase 4. And what a magnificent project this truly is. All of this not only took a great deal of planning, but a great deal of financing. In fact, all of the new construction, which has taken place over the past 5 years, cost over $6.2 million. Those of us who are tax-paying residents of the city helped to finance each of the phases of construction. However, it's also my pleasure to report that revenues totaling more than $2.6 million were also received from the State of Michigan Trust Fund, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Waterways, Michigan Department of Transportation, the Great Lakes Fisheries Trust, the Holland Board of Public Works, Michigan Coastal Zone Management, Michigan Trust Fund, the H.J. Heinz Foundation, H.J. Heinz, and Boatworks Restaurant. May I ask that each of those representatives who are here today from those organizations and entities please stand and let us say thank you for your partnering efforts. If you would, please. Thank you all. And while we're saying thank you, a special thanks to the good people at Dan Hull Excavating, who put their mark of professionalism on this wonderful new expanded park. Because of the high level of financial support and successful completions of phases 1, 2, 3, and 4, we have now said goodbye to the historic drive right along the water's edge, which we came to realize was distracting from a safe park environment and was putting moving and parked cars right where people wanted and needed to be, closest to the water. Friends, we have moved roads inside and outside the park. We've moved railroad access to nearby industry. We've expanded playground equipment. We have built more and more parking both inside and adjacent to the park. We've installed, with the help of our sister city, Querétaro, Mexico, an authentic colonial Mexican fountain, plaza, and seating. We have installed bronze artwork, compliments of our friends in the Dutch province of Drenthe. We have constructed new and expanded boat launch facilities and have added docking for temporary mooring of recreational boating. We've built Boardwalk, and more Boardwalk. In fact, we have built so very much Boardwalk that today one can, and I hope you do, walk almost a mile along the Kollen Park and connecting Heinz Walkway. This walkway is designed to link eastward with our window on the waterfront and Windmill Island Gardens, as well as the Makatawa Greenway, all of which combined will serve our growing city and our growing community long into the future. And even with all that we've done, I hope, and I know that some of you hope, that there's even more yet to come. The city manager just sighed. But just for example, today we have light refreshments here at the lakefront. I hope that someday we can come here with children and grandchildren and buy them an ice cream cone, maybe a hot dog, or maybe even buy a kite right here and fly it over the beautiful waters of Lake Makatawa. But friends, I must take some moments to mention the name of Heinz. For more than 110 years and touching 3 centuries, the name Heinz has been part of the fabric of our city's industry. Make no mistake, if you're pleased with the transformation, expansion, and new construction that you see here today, much of it is because of the public spirit, the partnering vision, and financial generosity which has come to us from Heinz USA and the H.J. Heinz Foundation.